What was your introduction to hip hop?
So in high school, my sophomore year of high school, hanging out in the bathrooms, and I transferred to that school. So I was like, let me just see what's up. And, I would wind up hanging out in the bathrooms, and girls would just start rhyming in the bathrooms. And really, dudes would be coming in the bathroom too, because it was the place to be. So I would just start hitting the beats on the bathroom stalls. This girl, Tangy B, Landy D, they would just start freestyling, and they were killing it. So I just keep the beat going while they would just start rocking. Eventually I started beatboxing, with them in the bathrooms, and then it came to a point where they had to battle these girls from another school. And there were 3 of those girls who were on the mic and only 2 of us, And so I had to write my first rhyme. So my brother had turntables. I literally went in his room, threw on the instrumental of I Need a Beat by LL Cool J, and I started writing. I was like, okay, what are we gonna write? So I wrote this battle rap, and we wound up battling these girls, and we killed them. In the same talent show, oddly enough, in East Orange, where a little known rapper named Double T Treachery, Tretch,
Exactly.
Tretch, who would be Tretch from Naughty by Nature eventually. Tretch was in the same talent show, and Tretch was killing this. I was like, who was this kid? Yo, he's just bodying this mic. So it was all of these weird places where you just like come across people, but it all started from beatboxing. And once I started writing rhymes, I had to keep going because these battles seemed to keep going. And then it was weird because the high school that I went to, I met my boy Ramsey. Ramsey introduced me to Apache, Shakim, Latifah. Was like, yo, we need to hire this DJ. My mother taught at the high school. She was like, yo, your mother needs to hire this DJ for the class parties. The DJ happened to be a guy named DJ Mark, the 45 King, who lived up the street from our high school, who was from New York and was like a producer / DJ, was Shy Rock from Funky 4+1 More's record boy. You know what I mean? He like knew people from New York. You know what I mean? And so she started hiring him for the parties. And this is where I met the whole Flavor Unit crew, what would become the Flavor Unit, So
that's crazy.
I was like, if it wasn't for my moms, I'm like, this is crazy. My mother really is responsible for my career.
So you started with Ladies Fresh.
Yeah.
So what are your memories of that crew?
Man. I just remember Landy and Tangy being so dope. Like Landy, she going straight for the dope. And Tangy was like, zoom, she was so smooth with it, but she's still ripping you.
Yeah.
So I remember like them being great rappers and
mostly battle oriented.
Battle oriented, but also just kind of like they had their own style. Everybody had to have a little bit of battle in them back then because it was just the element. You're around a crowd of people, so you have to say, even if you're not battling, you have to have something catchy, something that's going to grab the audience. So I feel like that was my training ground. It was showing me how to get an audience's attention, how to keep it, how to say something that would like get them on your side. Or, once you saw that look in the eyes, you had to figure out how to keep it. Or if they were all against you, you had to find one person in that crowd that locked eyes with you and just focus on them,
I think that's the thing that was different about our era is it started live.
Yeah.
Right? And this generation starts with records, right? So we started on the ground, in the bathroom, on the corner, face to face.
Yeah.
Right? There was a entertainment quality more than a record making thing.
Right.
So we started having to like defend ourselves lyrically, right?
Yeah. I mean, these kids get in the studio.
Yeah, they start in the studio.
Equipment. Like to even have, first of all, you had to know somebody with equipment unless you came from money. A microphone, you had to get to a microphone. You had to get to some music. So we had to kind of practice this stuff live. Maybe we literally cut our cassette tapes to try to make a loop.
Yes,
we didn't have all of that stuff. So we had to make a connection live with people and figure that part out first. And so I think even getting studio time was, we didn't have Pro Tools. You ain't have 80 tracks to do,
yeah,
you know? Like, we didn't have like auto-tune.
Maybe a 4-track recorder.
Yo, like 8 tracks?
8 tracks,
wait, hold up.
exactly.
You saying you got 16?
Yeah.
I mean, like, and then there were boards, a SSL board. Like, wait, you saying you on a Neve?
Yo.
Like, to be on a Neve board was to like a holy grail. To have 48 tracks?
Absolutely.
Unheard of.
Unheard of.
I don't know those budgets.
I know,
you know what I mean? Like, so we sharpened our swords with people face to face, you know, or in little talent shows locally that people would promote, whether they were janky promoters or not. This is kind of where you learned it, you know,
like
or
forced
even
to entertain.
Forced to entertain. That's right.
Like, you had to be interesting. Your clothes had to be exciting. You know, you had to like keep people's attention.
Yeah.
How did you cultivate your style and your ability to entertain one, and then lyrically, like who were you following and how were you developing?
Right. So it was interesting. I got a big family. So all of the courage to even get out there was something that you learned in the family. Danny, get on there and sing that song. And come on, Danny, get out there and do that commercial we like, you know. So they just push you out there at the family gathering. And, you know, so luckily I was kind of shy, but I learned how to jump, you know, either way. You know what I mean? We're going to swim. So jump off that diving board. Okay. You know what I mean? So that kind of stuff. I think I was fortunate enough to break through some of those barriers in my own family. Also, my freshman year of high school, I took a public speaking class.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I totally bombed at it.
No, I was no good. I was no good.
It was the worst. You know, it's like, oh, you need some sleep and you need to memorize this. Okay, because you're going to do really bad. But I think I learned how to fail a lot.
Yeah.
Is what my point is. And I learned also how to get out there, fail, get up, and try again.
Listen to Class of '88 wherever you get your podcasts,